Around the period of October 2018, former Turkish international Arda Turan carried a gun to a hospital and fired it to the ground. It was an incident which undoubtedly caused shock, fear, and distress to those present in the hospital at the time. He was subsequently sentenced a year later along with another crime he had previously committed, which had a direct link to this hospital incident. This isn't the first time that Turan has acted violently out of control. In fact, prior to the hospital incident, he was involved in a brawl at a nightclub with a Turkish pop star, Barke Sayin, after he had caught Turan allegedly verbally abusing his wife. The result of this, Sahin had to be hospitalized due to a broken nose as a result of the violence that ensued during their fight, which led to Turan going into the hospital with a gun. This entire incident happened while Turan was serving his initial 16-match ban for shoving a referee. Before that, he attacked a journalist on a plane, which led to his premature international retirement, and before that he threw his boot at a linesman. Due to all of these incidents, many have labeled Turan as a psychopath and a potential danger to society. What exactly is his deal? Why is he so crazy? Was he not hugged enough as a child? How much do we really know about him? Do you know he was involved in a car accident at one point in his life? And do you even know that this man is also one crime away from actually landing in prison? This is the rise and fall of Arda Turan from Barcelona to almost in prison. Arda Turan was born in Faith, Istanbul, Turkey on the 30th of January 1987. His parents, especially his father, always supported his passion for football. He never really showed signs of desiring a career in professional football until around the time his parents received a call from his school complaining about his disciplinary issues. Turan soon decided that school wasn't for him and decided to focus on football, earning his parents' full support in the process. Turan spent some time in the Galatasaray youth team where he seriously impressed and was promoted to the first team by Galatasaray manager at the time, Romanian legend George Hagi, in the 2004-05 season. Before we go further, my apologies for the names that I'm about to butcher in this video. His debut came against Bursaspor in a Turkish Cup game on the 22nd January 2005. However, due to lack of first-team minutes, he was sent on loan by Galatasaray to fellow Super League side Manisaspor for the second half of the 2005-06 season. 2006-07 will be the time when he finally started making waves at the club. He was recalled from his loan and he quickly broke into the first team in a period where he even earned his first senior call-up to the Turkish national team. One of the major problems he had during his younger days at the club was that he was getting on the nerves of some of the more senior players because of how he constantly dribbled with very little effectiveness. Around this period, he was quickly getting attention and he was a key part of Galatasaray's qualification for the 2007-08 Champions League group stages. His crowning moment, however, came in the 2008 Euros tournament. This was a tournament that truly announced Arda Turan to the whole world. Prior to this tournament, Turan was already getting watched by teams such as AC Milan, Villarreal, Fiorentina, and future club Barcelona. He was even quite close to joining Newcastle United for a reported £9 million fee at some point in his career. Anyway, his performance in the Euro 2008 tournament, where he was part of a Turkish national team that reached the semi-final, led him to being ranked 8th by Don Balon in the list of the top 100 best young footballers in the world. Everything was looking great for Turan. However, in November of that year, something truly terrible happened to him. On November 16, 2008, during a match against Istanbul Başakşehir, Arda Turan suddenly collapsed to the ground, and upon taking him to the hospital, it was discovered that he suffered from cardiac arrhythmia, which is another word for irregular heartbeat. At the start of the 2009-10 season, at the age of 21, Arda Turan was named club captain, and he also ditched his previously worn number 66 for a more significant number at the club, which was once worn by the legendary George Hagi, the number 10 jersey. In a season where Galatasaray finished 3rd in the league, Turan was able to score 7 goals in 29 league appearances and 11 goals in 49 appearances across all competitions. In January 2009, he was involved in a car crash in Istanbul, but fortunately he suffered no serious injuries, only cuts and bruises, and was good enough to continue training. The 2010-11 season was an injury-ridden season for Turan. He didn't play much, so he never contributed much, as he was only limited to making just 19 appearances in all competitions, scoring 6 goals with just 2 out of them coming in the league. Like I said earlier, Turan was on the radar of many clubs and was surely destined to leave Galatasaray at some point, and finally, after months of fan resentment, in August 2011, the right opportunity presented itself in form of Spanish giants Atletico Madrid. He signed for Los Rojiblancos for a transfer fee of 12 million euros plus bonuses, making him the most expensive Turkish footballer of all time. He was handed the number 11 shirt and made his La Liga debut on 28 August 2011 against Osasuna, coming on as a substitute in the second half. In October 2011, Galatasaray club president Ünal Aysal stated that Turan will come back to Galatasaray in the future under the right of first refusal that was signed between themselves and his new club. And yeah, he did return, but not in the state they had hoped he would return in. But more on that later in the video. If you've been enjoying this so far, please give this video a like, it's all I ask. Thanks. Turan was truly special at Atletico Madrid. He was an absolute joy to watch as he captivated the club's faithful with his incredible performances. His goal-scoring numbers were not high enough. In fact, he never hit double figures for goals throughout his time at Atletico Madrid, but there was something Diego Simeone just liked about him. You see, Arda Turan, according to his teammates, is described as nice, kind-hearted, and also a great guy. He was a proud supporter of Liverpool during his younger days, and considering Liverpool's famous 2005 Champions League title win happened in Istanbul, it's hard not to see why. Turan was a family man too. It is said that his first salary went to buying a house for his parents, and he also at one point bought his brother a Porsche. Turan is a great guy, but he had one problem, a problem which would lead to many of his controversies in this video, and that is anger. He just couldn't control it. On 20th January 2015, in the 47th minute of the home leg of the Copa del Rey quarterfinal against Barcelona, because he was denied a free kick, he threw his boot in the direction of the linesman. Fortunately for him, he never suffered any repercussions for his actions. After a La Liga title, Champions League runner-up medal, a Copa del Rey trophy, the 2011-12 Europa League title, and the 2012 UEFA Super Cup, Arda Turan left Atletico Madrid for FC Barcelona in 2015 in arguably the biggest turning point of his entire career. Turan will be signed by Barcelona for 34 million euros plus 7 million in variables in a 5-year contract. But due to a transfer ban imposed on Barcelona in 2015, he was not eligible to play for the club until the winter transfer window in January 2016. He finally debuted for the club in that same month, and due to his body language and expression, you could see that he genuinely loved playing at Barcelona, alongside teammates such as Lionel Messi, who he constantly spoke really high of. But his happiness was short-lived, as after just 1.5 years of playing, Luis Enrique was relieved of his Barcelona duties as manager in the summer of 2017, and his replacement, Ernesto Valverde, had no intention of playing him. This period exactly would be where things will start to go too far for Arda Turan. Turan's time at Barcelona is not something he'd remember too fondly. His first season was a disaster, but he showed some flashes of brilliance in his second, but overall he failed to meet people's expectations, and so during this period his poor performances were starting to irritate the Turkish people, as they once went absolutely insane on him and started to boo him during a match against Spain. His first major controversy would occur when the Turkish national team were about to take off for Italy in preparation for their meeting with Kosovo. Turan went after a journalist who had previously written stories about how the Turkey players were allegedly claiming bigger bonuses to play for their country in the Euro 2016 tournament. So when Turan finally met him, he confronted him by furiously asking him questions like, where was he, and if he was present when any of that happened, to have published such a story. He then reportedly went on to say things like, what kind of country is this? They allow you on the plane. F those who allowed you to this plane. He was even reportedly seen grabbing the journalist as he began to hit him before he was separated by his teammates, and due to this incident, Arda Turan took the decision to retire from international football. He left Barcelona to sign for Istanbul Başakşehir on loan, and still he didn't do anything much there in terms of his performances, but his time there will give rise to the biggest controversy of his entire career. On May 4th, 2018, Arda Turan was sent off in a league game against Sivasspor. His offense? He shoved an assistant referee after disagreeing with his ruling. He was given a 16-match ban, which was later reduced to 10. During this period of his ban, he got into yet another controversial situation. In October of 2018, Turan was involved in a brawl at a nightclub after he was allegedly caught verbally harassing the wife of Turkish pop star Barke Şahin. The two men brawled, and it resulted in Şahin being hospitalized for a broken nose. Turan later went to the hospital carrying a gun and was allegedly begging forgiveness from Şahin, and somewhere in all of that, the gun was fired to the ground. The hospital was in complete chaos, and the CCTV cameras picked up the entire incident. Anyway, he was given a suspended prison sentence of 2 years and 8 months for all of his crimes in total, and also that if he were to commit another crime in the next 5 years, then he would be thrown into jail immediately. He since apologized for the whole incident and strongly denied any accusation of verbally abusing the pop star's wife. And this now brings us to today. Barcelona wanted nothing to do with him, so they parted ways in 2020. He's currently at Galatasaray, not doing much as he tries to pick up the broken pieces of his career. The 35-year-old is currently at Galatasaray but has returned the broken shell of the player he once was. It is quite sad to see this happen to him this way because he seemed like a genuinely nice guy but with a bad temper. He's an emotional guy, perhaps too emotional. His temper, ill-fated Barcelona move, and a rash way of doing things, all these factors culminated to the painful downfall of Arda Turan. That is the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace, I'm out.